Here is the professionally rewritten documentary script in English. The language has been crafted to be natural, engaging, and easy to follow for viewers aged 30 to 70, maintaining the exact paragraph structure, details, and length of your original text. People are not viewing this situation in isolation, especially given past incidents where safety concerns escalated to the point of involving law enforcement. Audiences are analyzing current events through that specific lens. This background is precisely why followers immediately demanded a statement from the WNBA. It was not triggered by Clark making a basket, nor because Hayes engaged in trash talk, or because two competitors had a tense moment on the court. The public reacted because the boundary between intense sports competition and personal safety suddenly entered the discussion. Now, the focus turns entirely toward the administration of the league itself. This is the exact point where maintaining a single standard becomes the central issue. Just recently, the WNBA handed down a swift fine to Stephanie White after she publicly questioned the officiating. That decision was made rapidly and openly. The league took direct action. Looking at that precedent, fans are now asking a very basic question. If a critique of the referees gets an immediate response, what happens in this scenario? To be perfectly clear, these two events are not identical. Pointing out poor refereeing and engaging with online posts that hint at violence are completely separate matters. However, that exact distinction is why the public is demanding answers. People are trying to grasp which regulations truly hold the highest priority for the organization. Whenever a sports league responds instantly to one event but drags its feet on another, the public begins to form their own opinions. Whether those assumptions are accurate or unfair, that is simply how things work in reality. This is highly critical because the WNBA has transformed significantly from what it was just a few seasons back. The media coverage is vaster, the fan base is much larger, and the financial stakes are incredibly high. With increased press focus comes a much higher level of expectation. Every single event is magnified. As professional leagues expand, each administrative action carries far greater consequences. Audiences are no longer just tuning in to watch basketball games. They are carefully evaluating how organizations manage internal crises. They are checking to see if regulations are applied equally to everyone, whether player protection is treated as a top priority, and if raw emotions, star power, or outside media noise can alter official outcomes. Alongside that, there is another angle to this story that requires a closer look. League standards and growth. Social media has evolved into one of the most unpredictable elements of modern professional sports. Today's athletes are no longer just players on a team. They operate as personal brands and highly visible public figures. A single brief interaction on a digital platform can transform into a massive national news story within a matter of minutes. An action that an athlete might view as a harmless online reply instantly morphs into viral screenshots, media headlines, television debates, and endless arguments across every corner of the internet. Once that momentum builds, managing the public narrative becomes practically impossible. This brings us to another widely reported detail of the incident. Hayes reportedly began blocking accounts that left critical comments on her profile as the controversy gained traction. Now, whether blocking critics is the right move is a completely separate discussion. Professional athletes are subjected to an overwhelming amount of online toxicity and harassment every single day, and no one should minimize that reality. However, the public viewed her response as a refusal to accept accountability. To the fans, it looked less like managing a situation and more like dodging a necessary conversation. This is exactly where public perception gains immense power. The moment people believe someone is running away from criticism, their voices tend to grow even louder. That brings us to the present moment. The actual basketball game has practically been forgotten. What should have been a celebrated victory for the Fever has been completely overshadowed by a digital controversy. A moment of intense court competition has transformed into a serious debate over professional conduct guidelines. At this point, everyone is waiting to see if the league will issue a formal public statement. Regardless of whether individuals choose to defend Hayes, stand with Clark, or believe the entire event is being completely blown out of proportion, the core issue has shifted to a single question echoed by basketball fans everywhere.